Welcome back to My Car Cave. We've got another Spark model, another endurance LeMans car. This time it's the 2024 Alpine A424, number 35 car. This is the Alpine endurance team, and the car they ran at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 2024. This is the new 2025 release for Sparks. This is the I call the magnetic garage door. You open these flaps up, they're held magnetically. You can remove the foam here, and then you can take a look at the car. We're going to go ahead and get it off the base and take a closer look.
Okay, this is usually part in the video where I would give you some race history and stuff like that, but frankly, you know, in terms of endurance racing, I just don't watch as much as I could or should or want to. I pretty much watch Le Mans, and then I have attended some races, both IMSA series, and then I'm going to the WEC race in Kota, where I actually saw this car last year. And I find like this car is just a really intriguing looking car. That's why it's in my collection. As an F1 fan, it obviously connects well with the Alpine F1 team. So therefore I can make room for this car to put in my display, as opposed to some of the other, you know, endurance cars of late that I have passed on. So this one, again, it's a Spark, it's resin, it's actually super heavy. It's even heavier than the BMW. It's got this metal underside. This one actually, to me, looks more F1-esque, you know, particularly up here in the front. This is kind of just like under the driver, the front end splitter in an F1 car. And then back here, the rear diffuser. You got all these air turning vanes back here, all done in photo etch. Just looks a little more Formula One-esque to me, as does this kind of like support here under the front nose of the car. But yeah, so anyways, this model's just got fun little details. I think the carbon fiber, it's got different carbon fiber patterns. It's got striations here, and then more checkerboard around this design element, as well as on the rear shark fin back here. I think those tie in nicely with the F1 livery. The other endurance cars tend to have just more of the striated pattern for the carbon fiber, but Alpine, being an F1, seems to be pulling some of that checkerboard pattern over to their endurance cars. Other unique little elements here. This has a decent amount of you know, photo etching here. You got these dive planes here with these support beams here, all done in photo etch and covered in carbon fiber decal there. Then over here you got the pitot tube, that's done in you know, photo etch, and it's interesting, it's off to the, you know, what I guess would be the right if you're sitting inside the car, as well as this aerial here that's also off kilter. There's a little air duct or something here. I'm not quite sure what that is. Someone who's more knowledgeable than me might be able to talk about that. Like I said, I don't know as much about endurance as I pretend to know about F1. If you're interested in endurance racing, want to watch a channel that has a ton of knowledge about these cars, and if you're a F143 collector, there's a channel called It's All About Racing. That gentleman's supremely knowledgeable about endurance racing, attends a lot of events. He not only has videos of his 143rd endurance car collections, he also does some F1, but more importantly, he also features kind of pit walks when he attends races. And I think that's probably pretty interesting for some of the people who might be viewing this video. So check out It's All About Racing over on that YouTube channel for, you know, a more insightful endurance discussion. Back to this car, I think, you know, one of the more interesting features on it is the tail lights here. So, you know, on the BMW, I talked about how I thought Spark didn't really do a great job, and it's an actually interesting kind of feature on the BMW car. It's even more so on the Alpine. It's kind of their key design element, and that the tail lights are done in this Alpine A4 kind of like logo that they have, and I think it's super cool that they designed it this way. And for this particular model, it appears that Spark used a photo etch part and then painted it, with a translucent metallic red to give it that kind of like three-dimensionality and reflective properties. So I think that's a fantastic use of photo etch and a fantastic way to make these lights. I'm disappointed they did not do the same on the BMW. I understand it's a smaller element, but this is they did hit this one out of the park there. You can also see some additional photo etching back here as well. There's tons of photo etching on this car relative to other ones. You can see the exhaust tips back there. These are two rectangular, similar to the BMWs, which I'm now realizing maybe they're not all round anymore. They do have a rectangular element. You do have some chrome decaling up here. Again, I think that's largely to cool off the cockpit. It's a more mirrored chrome on the visor of the windscreen, but then it's a more matte kind of chrome on the actual top of the car. I can't tell you which is correct or not. I think the wheels on these cars are pretty neat. They have this kind of ribbing right here, which is an interesting little detail, different than other wheels on other Le Mans cars. This one does not have the valve stem like the BMW does, but you get the brake caliper and brake rotors in there. And the backside also very nice, and you get the red paint here and the blue markings up here, so consistent with the livery. Like I said, these wheels spin despite being a resin model. These front wheels and back wheels do spin, the back more freely than the front, but they do turn. Don't know why. I suspect the BMW ones probably would return also if you forced them hard enough, but I'm not going to do that. So anyways, this is just, kind of a look at the Alpine A424. Again, super interesting headlights. They've got this decal down here. In the real car, these all light up. But I think, once again, Spark did a bang-up job on this. So I think this car is just, a very intriguing looking model, and I'm happy to add to my collection. So I hope you like the video. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll have some more soon.